Conversations with Indie Authors.
Hello, Eli. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You started writing your book in high school, you said?
Yeah, I was sitting in class and just thinking about, well, this kind of scene popped into my head of a character who was just standing in front of a sun and looking into the sun, and then a kind of a fleet came over his head, and I thought, just started asking questions of why, when, where, how, and all those, and it started going from there.
So how long did it take you to finish the book? Because
I
you're not
think
in high school anymore.
correct. I think it took me about, I mean, I finished it during the lockdown pandemic thing, so that's 3 years maybe. Because of course I finished it. I've read it about like 18 times at this point because I have that particularness about it. So I had to make sure everything was all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, all that kind of a thing.
So did you self-publish?
I did. I looked into those publishing companies that do the quick little packages for you. But when I
Mhm.
started looking at it, I realized that they're, like, for example, a software I use called Pro Writing Aid. I found out about that because one of those companies was promoting it as part of a deal. And so I was wondering, are the editors just using Pro Writing Aid and that's part of the package? So then I just got Pro Writing Aid, which was less than $200. And eventually, then I got Atticus, which was also under $200. And the whole thing about the whole project so far has come out to about the same price as the smallest package they give you. So
I've had people do both, like the independent publishing company or publishing themselves, and it's really just putting in more work. That's
yeah,
how much are you willing to put in?
yeah.
Because
And
that's what
I
you're
was,
paying them.
yeah, and I was fine with doing that. Come from a DIY family, so that was kind of my first instinct. Plus, I have that vision, and because I went on Fiverr to look at cover art and stuff, and even those guys, they charge extra if they do a redo or something like that. So I took the time to figure out this free modeling software and made the cover myself as well, because it was just, I had the vision for it. I had it all planned out because I had been thinking about it for a long time. So
Do you have a
I
sequel to this book?
not yet. I'm halfway. I think I will say I'm halfway through the sequel to the book. I will, however, because this isn't the first book I wrote. I believe this is the third book I wrote. The first set of books I wrote, I did when I was younger, and I didn't really rereading them. You could tell that it was younger me. So now I'm kind of forced to go back over them, and but then I want to still release them because I think they're a great story. So yeah.
I was just talking about that with another artist. He's a music artist and an author. And we were talking about that. How do we leave our, original, song up
Yep.
for everyone? Because I have grown, but it's cool to see that growth. Like,
Yeah.
wow, here's where I started, and now here's so I would release a new edition so that, oh,
Yeah.
see, here's where I'm at now, but here's still the original. You can see my progression. I love that.
Yeah. It's
Super
also, I
cool.
mean, you kind of always have I have an affection for the first set of characters I made, so I feel bad just leaving them in a hard drive somewhere. I feel like they got to be out there. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you see for this? So is it going to be a series, do you think?
I think it's just going to be a trilogy
Okay.
for, and then I do have a spin-off plan, but you can always get into that thing of like you're milking the cow too much, and then it becomes too much of a thing, and you got to let the story rest at some point. So
Hmm.
I think I think a trilogy and maybe the one spin-off book is my idea for it. I'm also gonna always keep putting up short stories on my website about
Oh,
it,
nice. Yeah.
but yeah, I think
So
it's just gonna be a trilogy.
Eli, could you give us a little bit, if someone hasn't heard of you, if they don't know who you are or anything about your book, can you give us a brief synopsis of the book?
It's about a man by the name of Carson. He's a collector, which is the only license recognized galaxy wide that can do any variety of jobs. And because he's a collector, usually involves acquiring things for people, whether it is people or objects or something of that nature. And he just encounters something that starts making him question his spot in the universe, what his purpose is. Because as it says on the cover of the book, it's that he's going into his past, or things from his past are coming back, and he realizes that this narrative he's tried to set up by himself isn't working out, and it isn't the reality he's living in. So he has to deal with that while also dealing with a job he's on. So, and
How
there's
much of
action.
the Oh,
Oh,
it's
you go.
action?
Yeah, there's action. There's action drama. It's got it all. I think it's a good story.
So what do you see so most authors that I meet, they want their book to turn into a movie or a mini series. Do you have any of those aspirations?
I do. uh I think I like the idea of a video game mainly because they make a lot of money, but plus I think it's a fun world. I think I've done not it's not to the level of like Tolkien did, where I didn't invent a language or anything, because to me he kind of made me feel lazy with that. But it definitely is a fun world that I think people will get immersed in.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah, I would say it definitely could be defined as escapism in some sense, and I think people would enjoy that.
Escaping?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what the it's not what the genre does, but it's you see a lot of stuff going on in the world and you don't know what to do with it. And so when you can escape in the escapism genre, it allows you to look at human experiences and not have the initial reaction anymore, but actually allows you to think about it in a safe place, because it's a world that's contained in the book, but yet at the same time you can embellish it as much as you want with your mind or your imagination. So
Can you talk to us about your writing process? What gets you in the space of creativity to start writing?
um it was that scene, and then when you I started probing myself with the questions. I mean, I basically made a note on my iPhone and I just started going and going and going from there. And eventually, once I looked at the note, I was like, kind of a full story here. Now it's time to put it on paper. So that's usually how it goes. I do a very primitive outline from my head, and then as I start writing, I start encountering, because there's that concept that people have where it's the book writes itself. I would say that's not true. It's you've created the character in your head, so you know them. So once the character starts doing things and you hit that point and you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is he doing that? It's because you know the person and you know what they would and wouldn't do. So, and then it's not that the book writes itself, is that you're now immersed in the logic of the book you made already. So
So you completely immerse yourself. How much of yourself is in the book or in the main character?
this one, it's not too much. What he's going through, the theme of the book is something I went is just I think they did a study, and it's like every person from 16 up to 20 questions their place in the universe, talks about questioning God and all those things, and I just went through the same process. So, and then after going through all that and figuring it out, put it on the character. And so,
Mm.
because just all those experiences add to your writing, like I don't know, like you're writing cornucopia kind of a thing to get into.
Yeah. What do you hope that your audience will take away from your books?
um I don't know. I think that's really I think my first takeaway is that they'd enjoy it, and it's one of those books that they always come back to and they always recommend that people read. Not because, well, I mean, kind of because I want a lot of people to read them, but also because it's something they enjoyed so much that they want to share it with people.
When was this book released? How long has it been out?
I released it in September, so it's been about, yeah, 3 months.
Oh, okay. That's not
Yeah.
very. So what made you decide to start going on podcasts?
Uh, I asked my brother, and he was like, because he's a digital marketing person, so he's been through all of these things, and he was like, you should do some podcasts. And I was like, I don't know. I've never done one before. And he's like, no, you do a podcast. They'll help you out. So
It
yeah,
seems to be the thing. Yeah. Podcasts are huge right now. Like it seems like
yeah,
everyone's doing them and yeah. Need to get more I don't know, recognition. Is that Are
yeah.
you very active on social?
I am now. I wasn't before, but now I am. I have the Vachmani. It's the Instagram for Vachmani Books, and Vachmani is VOCMANI. And if you
So is
go,
this your business, Fuck Money?
yes, I am the
Okay.
founder of this. It is
Okay.
the yeah.
And so you
Uh,
created your own publishing company? Is that what it is?
yes, because I it seemed like the best way to do it because it seems like when you're because even when I was doing the ISBNs for the Library of Congress and stuff, it seems like that's the best way to go because the Library of Congress is kind of looking for that thing, the publisher title and name. So it works out.
So are you publishing other people's books then?
No, not right now. I don't.
Okay.
This this I this was my first time doing it. It was some work, but it was just because I was figuring it out.
Mhm.
Now I think it's more streamlined, but I think for right now I'm just doing my own books because
Okay.
yeah.
And so you have a website. So yes, tell me your socials and how we can find you online.
So Vachmani Books, as I said, VOCMANI underscore books, Vachmani Books on Instagram, and then the website is the same, it's www.vachmanibooks.com. That's where you can still get the hardcovers and soft covers, and Instagram has other content because I've done some artistic stuff with the book series. So if you wanted to check that out, that's also on the Instagram. And the short stories are on our website as well.
So how often are you updating with short stories? They're in line with the collector, your book?
Yep, they're in the same universe. They kind of lately it's been a mood thing, but I think I'm gonna start doing them more regularly, maybe once a month, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Because I'm still wanting to write the second book, and also I want to release that first series of books that I wrote when I was younger as well. So
Oh, that'd be nice.
yeah.
What does your brother say, the marketer? Because I would say that I'm finding that independent authors are having a lot of luck doing dramatic readings of their books or just really getting personal and letting people connect with them. What does he say
Mhm.
for marketing for being an author? Because it's hard.
Well, he's actually been saying a lot lately that it's getting your book into physical people's hands because they did a whole statistical study, and it turns out still the number one thing that makes someone motivated to go get a book is a physical copy that their friend hands them with a word of mouth. So
Mhm.
he's been telling me you should try getting into like a craft fair or something like that and have your book on display.
I would say that's not a bad idea and have your Vachmani books and a picture of you and,
Mm-hmm.
just show people that you're fun to hang out with. And that seems to be I think that's the hardest thing for authors though, because we go and
Yeah.
hide for so long doing our whatever
Yeah.
creative. And then we come out and we're like, hello. And they're like, oh, I thought you were dead.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. You're kind of going into that hermit mode because you just want to write and you get in that zone and then you're done and you're like, oh, I haven't done anything in like a week.
That's why we need a PR firm to get out ahead of that and tell
Yep.
people they're still connecting with you. You just can't see them right now.
Yep.
The man behind
Exactly.
the curtain. Yeah. So that's awesome. So you plan to keep going as an author? Are you going to turn this into like a major publishing company that other people can get published with you?
Um, maybe. Right now I kind of
You
just
do
am
not look
just I'm just kind of sticking with my own books right now. I think, yeah. I'll be the exclusive author of Vachmani books for right now.
Hey, that works. If that,
Yep.
doing all of that is a lot of work. So you might as well make a publishing company out of it. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you said you're in the studio for Vachmani books, and is that right? Or is this a different?
I'm in the studio for Vachmani Studios because it's something I founded with my parents and they do photography and uh audiobooks. The studio just shot a wedding not too long ago, so Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
a sound studio.
Yep.
That makes sense. That's why you have good sound and like there's like the eggshells behind you and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It took a little bit of work, but we were able to get it done. We were a little
That's awesome.
scared there because we were doing it and there was like this random high pitched humming and we weren't sure where that was coming from, but just put on more soundproofing is what we found out. Put on more of the foam.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. Growing up, I grew up in a musical family. My dad's still a musician, and he converted the garage into a recording studio. So
Yep.
he once I had a big captain's bed, and he actually stole my bed and
Nice.
turned it into the vocalist little. And so it was like this little booth for
Yep.
singing. It was yeah, it was a pretty cool thing though. You had a door that closed behind you. It was pretty
Yep.
funny. I'm like, but that's my bed.
Priorities. You gotta if you gotta do the art, you gotta do the art.
My dad is very driven by doing the art. He's still acting and singing. He's a lead singer and he's a guitar player and
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool. So what other things do you do? What other creative outlets do you have besides writing?
Well, I talked about the free software, which was Blender, which is a 3D modeling software. I've been getting more into that, trying to do more sculpting and models, stuff like that. See what I can do with that.
But it's all digital?
Yeah, it's all digital. On
Let's see.
Instagram, I have a couple of reels where it's some of the work based off of the collector universe inside of it. So yeah,
And so you're working on number 2 and you have plans for number 3 of the collector.
correct. Yeah, those number two, I think, will probably be at the end of next year. And I think I'll be releasing the other series, the which will be a medieval kind of fantasy. I don't want to say fantasy too hard because there's not really a lot of magic in it. It's just more of a medieval fiction. But
Okay.
that I think will be coming out spring or summer of next year as well.
And you wrote those while you were still in high school too, right?
I think the first one I wrote when I was 14, so that would have been middle school, was when I wrote the
Okay.
first book, and that's why when I looked back, I was like, oh, my writing has evolved a lot since 14. But yeah,
That makes it so you haven't even released those, so nobody would have like the like originals, and so you can already still go back and make it a little bit better before people have seen the release.
yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, well, no one's gonna know anything, so we'll just throw that up there. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah,
So maybe one day somebody will approach you and say, "Hey, let's make a movie."
I hope so. I mean, I think that's kind of every author's dream, is to have all those signs of success, but
Mhm.
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it's a fun journey and you're enjoying the process, it looks like.
I am.
That's
It is a fun,
awesome.
puts you in a lot of places. Never
Do
done a
you get to
podcast before, so here I am. That's the first one.
new experiences? Now you're just going to go on everybody's podcast and see how different everyone is.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
That'd be
hope so.
awesome. I'll be looking for you. So you're
Thank
most
you.
active, I think, on Instagram, right?
Correct. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of posts on there trying to get my following up in the Bookstagram sphere, so that way I get some traction from there. And
Is
then
is that the only place you're on?
no, I do also have a Facebook account. I think I'm going to expand into TikTok, whether it's just to do ads or to put the reels that I did with Instagram on TikTok as well and get some traction there as well. But I think those three, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, will be where you'll find me in the future.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for a little while and letting us know about what's going on with you.
Thank you for having me on.
I,
Appreciate the opportunity.
I hope it wasn't too
He disappeared.
Oh, there you froze. Okay,
Yeah,
there
you
you
froze
are.
it. Okay, you're back. Okay.
Yay. All right. Well, I appreciate I am gonna go because I have my daughter's 1 year birthday is tomorrow, and we're gonna have a big circle outside with a
Oh,
fire and all this kind of stuff. So I'm
cool.
excited about that. Yeah.
Well, happy
I
birthday
don't
to
know.
her.
Yeah, thank you. Whatever you celebrate this holiday season, I hope it's wonderful if you celebrate something.
Yes, you as well. Oh, I would just like to announce really quick that we'll also be doing a quick giveaway of the hardcovers for people who
Can
subscribe
you
on
lift it up
Insta.
a little higher so we can see it?
Yep. We'll be do a giveaway for people who subscribe on Instagram and join the book club on the website. And people people who subscribe will get a chance to win a hardcover. So
That's awesome. I love a good hardcover.
yep.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I like the hardcovers. The printer is a good quality printer, so I was excited. I was very excited about that.
Who'd you use?
It's called Mixum. I believe it's a British printing company. Or
Okay.
for some reason, the soft covers were printed in the United States, but the hard covers they do in the UK. But came out with good quality, so I don't ask them questions.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
okay,
I get that. That's awesome. Is there anything
yep.
else that you want to share with the audience before we go?
Uh, just come find us on Vachmani Books. Join the book club for the giveaway, and subscribe on Instagram and get the book because we still have the soft covers, and the hard covers are available at Vachmani Books. Also, the Kindle version is available for free if with anyone who has Kindle Unlimited. Otherwise, it's I believe $10. So,
Well,
and
that's
that's it.
awesome. Yeah, nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on today. It was nice to meet you, and it was awesome being your first podcast.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity and being the first. I really appreciate it. It was a nice time. Thank you.
I'm I am going to get this edited. I've been having trouble with podcasts, but the YouTube is going up for some reason. I don't know why, but
Okay.
whatever. I will send you as soon as it's out. I plan to have it out on Wednesday. That's my
Wednesday.
plan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
So yeah, so I will send you the links, and that's the plan right now, is for it to go live on Wednesday. Yeah. And so I think you already sent me your links, and I remember
Yep.
a headshot.
Headshot.
So
Yep.
yeah, I will put that in the description box so everyone can find you.
Thank you.
And stay in
Appreciate that.
touch whenever you release your next one. Let me know.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thank
Well, happy holidays.
you as well. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye.